Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here, and today is an episode of Thrifty Canucks, and this haul is a little bit yard sale, like garage sales, thrift shops, my time with I think with Jen and Deborah, and a little bit of AliExpress and a little bit of this and that. So I mean, we all shop on, you know, Global Land and Temu and Amazon and AliExpress, and I really find that AliExpress has really upped their game lately. They have this thing where you have a choice of 3 items and they ship for free. I don't know if it's worldwide, but I know they ship across Canada for free. And then they also have specials where if you spend $10, they ship for free. So I, you know, it's that late night shopping thing. and when it's a section called choice, and they just have things that are $1, $2, and $3 that are very, you know, affordable, and then you're not paying any shipping on it. And I realize it's all small stuff that they can fit in envelopes, but, you know, it works great for me because it's fun to spend, you know, just a few dollars and get some fun new toys to play with. So this is a combination, I think, of 2 different shopping events. And there's more to come because it came in, there's one batch and then another batch. It came in 2 separate sections, and so it hasn't been shipped yet, or it's in transit somewhere right now. But I bought one of these silicone molds, and, you know, I'm going to use it with my Themo clay, of course. And it's just a bunch of little flowers. And I've picked up a few of these different molds now, and I'm going to do several different types of clay all in one day. I've got lots of clay. I've bought it many times, and I pick it up sometimes at thrift shops too when I find it. And so I'm just going to have a day of playing with clay and getting a whole bunch of stuff made. I used to do some Fimo jewelry or like clay jewelry years and years ago, but these are great. These little flowers are great for embellishments. So I'm going to play around and see what I can come up with. But I think it was like $2 for this, if that. So yeah, I've picked up a couple of them now, so I have quite a nice little collection. So when I sit down to do it, I can do a whole bunch of things at once. That's the plan. And then this one I blame on Caroline because I watched her video where she was playing with these, and she had some film from a camera film, and she was working with these, and all of a sudden it was like, well, I need one of those. So I went and bought one. So it's the little, you know, the little Viewmaster reel, but there's also some extra parts in here. There's a little film square that you can put a film into, and then this little strip one as well. This one seems to have gotten bent in travel, but I'm sure once I roll it through the machine a couple of times, it'll be fine. But yep, Caroline, I blame this one on you and late night shopping, all in one together. This one is just a set of flowers. Now, what I like about this is they're still all connected together, and I will try to keep them all connected together and roll them all at once to make a very, you know, layered flower. So that should be fun. My plan is to, I've got a bunch of mulberry paper, like handmade paper that's very, very thin and light. And I thought, you know, it's the kind of paper that's very, it's very sturdy. Even though it's thin, it's very sturdy. So it would take to, you know, molding it a little bit by maybe wetting it and then rolling it on a pencil or a pen. So just to do some dimensional flowers. So I may take you along for the ride on that one. But that's kind of what my plan is for that one. And I think I bought this one in a separate section with the idea of making those film strips. And then I found this one afterwards. So now I've got 2, but I've got all these extra tickets too. Yeah, because I want to make a ton of these, right? I don't know why, but I think it was like $1.49 or something. It was very inexpensive. And believe it or not, with all the dies I have, I do not have a plain rectangular one like this. And this has got the kind of those little stitch marks on it. And, you know, depending on how big of a frame you want to have, you can use like the outside one and the third one in or the fourth one in together to make a little frame. So I may play around with that. If nothing else, it'll help me to cut some straight lines and then have the stitch mark around the edges. So that's what I bought. And I think, again, it was not even $2, I don't think. I think it was like $1.98 or something. This stencil, which is huge, you know, sometimes you got to stop and read the directions or read the information, because I wasn't expecting it to be quite this large. But on the other hand, it will be nice to stencil on, you know, a full-size page or along the edge of a page. So I will play around with this one, like that one. This one was disappointing. I was really disappointed in this. I thought it would be much smaller. It's, you know, it's handwriting, so it looks very large. I will try it. I don't think it's going to look very legible on a page, but that's just my thought process. I could see maybe using this emblem. The emblem has a little crown on it and kind of, I don't know, it's quite decorative, ornate. So I could see maybe using this part of it, but I'm really disappointed in this size. Until I start playing with it. I really expected it to be smaller. But again, it was one of those things that was like 98 cents. And I figured, oh, I'll just go for it. And I didn't look at the size. I just assumed it was small. So I'm going to get these out of my way. Oh, just throwing it on the floor right now. I bought some new embossing folders. Oh, these are very inexpensive on the site. And if you get them through the choice area where you get 3 items for 10, you know, your free shipping. And I don't think they were $3 each. I don't think so. I'm not going to take them out of the package. You can see the design. So this is just an all-over flower. A really nice leaf pattern here, and this kind of sort of snowflake atomic type look to it. So yeah, these will get definitely used as embossing folders for stuff I'm working on. I bought a foot pedal. Now this I bought off of Amazon. Tom was ordering something off of Amazon, and we have this thing because we don't have Prime, so we have to spend $35 to get the free shipping, which is no problem because I have a whole pile of stuff bookmarked. So I have to take one for the team and buy something to bump up whatever it is we're buying on Amazon. So this is a sewing machine foot pedal. Now, I had to buy this because I bought a sewing machine at a garage sale in a box and I looked it over, tried the sewing machine just using the push thing, and it worked. And the sewing machine, it was supposed to be $5 for the sewing machine. And I bought 2 books that were $1 each, would have made it $7, but I offered her $5 and she took $5. So I'm going to round it up and say that I technically paid $4 for the sewing machine. But when I went back into the box to get the foot pedal to set up the foot pedal, because I want to set this up for sewing paper. I've had one of these before. I gave it up, but I had one before and I really liked it and I missed it. There was no foot pedal. So on Amazon, the foot pedal cost me $15. I could have bought it on AliExpress for a little bit less, but I was a little concerned that it may not fit, but this one fits. And yeah, so the machine cost me $4. The foot pedal cost me $15, so it's about $20. But in my defense, I did go and look up those machines brand new, and they run around $90. So I don't feel too bad for picking this up and getting this through Amazon. Sometimes, yeah, just gotta deal with the mistakes. A tattoo coloring book. Now, I bought this at a yard sale when we were camping somewhere. I think it was in St. Martin's when I bought it. And I love the images in here. It is on a beautiful, it's like watercolor paper. The images are all, you know, just black with a little bit of gold in them. And they have a little fold out, which I'll show you in a second. They actually have 2 of them, I think. Yeah, 2. But the pictures, you know, some, I don't know that I would use a skull with the snake, but some of the pictures are just gorgeous. And I don't think it's ever been used. There's tigers, the eagle. Some of them have a, you know, sort of a steampunk look to them. Some of them, here's a mermaid. And under the water. I don't know if you can see all that. So just some beautiful images. Some I would use, some not. But I would put these right into a journal, fold it up. I would use her, probably not her. Fold it up and tucked in there with a couple of markers for somebody to doodle on if in my journals. So then the fold out, yeah, it is 2 pages. So this is the paper on this side, and I thought, oh well, I'll just have these beautiful designs to work on, and same with here on this fold out, and there's this on that side. I thought, oh, that's really beautiful. But then when you open it up, it's full color designs. So these will definitely be put into a journal as a signature page in a journal. And then this way the person could write on the other side. I don't know how I'm going to fold them up yet. I've got a couple of ideas of what I want to do with them, but I will definitely use them in a journal. And then just more, like this is cute. This is one of those stacking dolls or whatever. I love the birds. Beautiful lady. Not so much of a beautiful rooster, but I should send this one to Jen. She's got a neighbor that has roosters that are quite loud. A little lighthouse here. That's cute. So yeah, fun book. I paid $2 for it. And the back fold out is also, but not colored. It's also a nice print. So this might be nice to cut up. It's a good way to cut up and use for making tags and journal cards. But yeah, I thought it was well worth it. I didn't, on the front side is the same thing. It has the image in just neutral colors to paint up. And bought a hammer. At Dollarama because I needed one, and it was just in the Dollarama pile, so I thought I'd show it to you. I have a hammer. Fall is in the air, and so these are 3D paper stickers that I bought at Dollarama for $1.25. What I like about these is if you are careful and peel them apart and take the little dewy out of there, you have some beautiful fussy cut flowers. You can certainly use them raised if you want, like dimensional, but I personally like them just one layer, so that's probably how I will use them. But for $1.25, there's quite a bunch here, so I figured this will be nice for doing fall stuff. I bought 2 packages of sequins at $1.25. These are really a nice cup type sequin. They are more dimensional, so it's more for using on something that's on the outside of your journal, or you know, something that you can have this dimension. You don't want to put it in between pages because I'm sure it'll, you know, bend up the pages on either side if they get pressed together. But definitely something I would use for on the outside of a journal. Probably the journal cover, doing some slow stitching and incorporating these in with them because they're very, very pretty. I have them in orange and green, and this is the first time I saw them in blue and purple. And I've used them on the outside of a journal, just stitching pearls in the center and stuff. So, love those. My most favorite find at Dollarama, and I only got 2 because that's all that was there, is these huge keys. Isn't that going to be gorgeous on the front of the journal? Now, if you have a Dollarama, run with scissors to Dollarama and pick these up. They are $4.75 for a round of them. There's 5 on the ring. It's just a matter of breaking this ring open. I've had these keys, I bought them in the States before, but this is beautiful on the front of a journal. You can tuck it in a pocket. What a lovely accent piece to add to your journal. It does have a hole in it, so you can individually hang these or put some type of tassel on it or something more fun and decorative, or even just strings of beads to further enhance your journal covers. So it lends a little bit of mystery, you know, and interest on the outside cover to have this. And maybe you could make a door plate as well, sort of to open the journal. Something I've been wanting to do is make some fancy door plates, so I'll take you along for that ride when we're doing that. But when I found these keys, it was just like, yeah. Now, they are not in the craft section. And when you go to Dollarama, you really have to look closely, because I always go down every single aisle when I'm there, because they put the strangest things out sometimes, depending on when you're shopping. And these are in the home decor. Now, most Dollaramas are the same because they have to follow a floor plan that makes everything fit. I don't know if you've ever worked in retail, places like Dollarama and Staples and all these different places. They have an actual picture of how the display is supposed to look. So most often you can tell that these things are found in the very same spot in each store, unless the store is one of the original smaller ones. But most of the regular dollar stores and any department store that you go into, if you find it in one store in a spot, that's where you want to look in the other store. So it is in the home decor area, kind of where they have, you know, those plaques with sayings on them and mirrors, and it kind of leads into picture frames. And then there's that's usually where you find the rolls of scented drawer liner paper, that area there. And this was low towards the ground. So I would say it would be probably third product up from the bottom. Very low. So keep your eye and scan low when you're going through the aisles, and hopefully you'll find them. I think, you know, it's pretty much $1 a key, but I would have bought 100 keys like this for $1 each if I was at an antique sale. No problem, because these are so fun to add into our journals. So keep your eye out for them. I was only able to get 2. Maybe you'll be able to get more. But I will be checking my other dollar stores too. And they're heavy as all get out because they're cast iron. So that was it for my Dollarama stuff. And then I think I got these when I was thrifting with Jen and Deb. If not them, then it was with Thelma somewhere. Not sure, can't remember. But they are just little rings of bells. And my plan is to take the bells off of here and use them in projects. You know, maybe on the outside of a journal or for some Christmas stuff. You know, undecided at this point, but for 25 cents each, the value is there in bells. So if you buy bells, of course, this is something that you know is well worth the money at 25 cents each. But not sure who I was with. As I mentioned, I've just been filling the bags with stuff, and then as I get to do a video, I take one bag and go through it. So it's kind of fun because I'm starting to remember things that I hadn't got to. However, the AliExpress stuff was on, you know, sitting by the door from the picking that up at the mail. I'm bringing this out to show you because I bought 2 of these on AliExpress. Now, they were a little bit more money. I thought this was a little different than what it is. I thought it was one of those Japanese hole puncher things, which I have found since. I haven't ordered one, but I plan to. But they do make holes. Now, they both have a cover. I'll just leave the cover in there. I bought 2 different ones because I thought there was a chance they would be 2 different things, but they are the same, and that's okay. I will put one with my stuff and give one to my husband to use. They do make holes. I've got a piece of cardboard here. And these things, apparently you can also use these to break windows, like if you're ever trapped in a car. So maybe we should have one in our car in case we go over a cliff and we're ever trapped. You can break a window that way. But I was quite surprised because it's just got a little rounded, doesn't even feel sharp. And you just press it down and instant hole. Now this is a very tiny hole. I hope you can see. And then this one, same thing. You just press it down where you want the hole to be. Not as much work involved, but it makes an even tinier hole. What this would be really good for, like I said, I thought I was getting that Japanese hole puncher that's spring-loaded, but I kind of knew with the price that it probably wasn't. The Japanese hole puncher makes holes that are big enough to use for your journals, and can go through many layers. This Rachel from Roxy's Creation uses hers on occasion if ever you watch her videos, which is why I was needing one of these, because I saw hers. But these make much smaller holes, but they would also be good for doing slow stitching or stitching through paper. I could see where I would, you know, put a bunch of rows of dots where I want a dot or a hole, and then just put the holes in. And it's, oh, I guess it does make it bigger. I'm just not pressing hard enough. But yeah, it does make a hole that would fit like a pin or a needle. If you were sewing buttons onto paper, this might be a great way to do it. Just put something underneath the paper. You definitely need some type of a cutting mat underneath to make your holes. But they were very inexpensive, maybe $3 something each. So you know, you may consider getting them. I don't know. AliExpress, check it out. I don't get a commission from them. I just love late night shopping. I find when I'm tired, that's something I like doing. I don't know why. It's my thing. So I showed you that. How's my time? Getting a little... Oh, I still have good time. Value Village, deck of cards. This is a double set, and I'm pretty sure I didn't open it, but it looks like it's probably both puppies. But we'll open it up and see. Usually I have these open. Today not. And you know I like to save the bag, so I have to put you through this. I think I did look at it before the cards moved over. Or maybe that was the last set I bought. I'm not sure. Okay, and they're taped up as well. So I guess I didn't look at these ones. Oh, here we go. Jokers, which I love. Oh, no, there's two different colors. Okay, so there's the blue and pink. Yeah, blue and pink. But cute little puppies carrying a basket of flowers. These are adorable. I will definitely be using these in some journals. My favorite thing to do with playing cards like this is to just sew them into the side of a journal pocket and use it as a tuck. That is my most favorite way to use these. Fast, easy. I might put a little piece of lace or ribbon or something on them. But yeah, they just sew in so easily. Usually I like to just tack them down with a little bit of white glue first to hold them in place for sewing, and then zip and they're done. I don't know where I was, but I bought these for 99 cents. Maybe I didn't even pay that much. I don't know where I would have paid 99 cents for these. But they're 2 patch sets. They would be gorgeous. They're nice and flat. Probably iron-on appliques. Covered with a pressing cloth. And yes, so ironing them on. So easy to use on a journal page. Easy to use on a cover. Lots of possibilities for decorating. What I like too is, if you look closely, the paper that this is on is kind of a damask type print on the background. So 2 journal cards right there in the making. And this one is already, the back is clear. So yeah, easy to put this together to make some kind of ephemera, and then these on top. I don't think I paid 99 cents for it. I want to say that I probably got the two of them for something somewhere at a garage sale. I don't even remember. That's pretty bad. I know I bought these at a garage sale. I don't know who I was with. They're very large butterflies. I love butterflies, all kinds. They will go in my butterfly collection. But, you know, let me know in the comments below if you are interested in making some fun boho style butterflies for journal covers, or, you know, for embellishing on the covers, because it's something I want to do anyway, and I have kind of a pattern of how I want to do them. So if you are interested, let me know, and I might put it on, you know, the list of things to do in the fall with you guys. I just find them so attractive. They're too big really to put on a journal cover. Unless it might be something that you're taking off. It might be fun to use this, like it's got a clip on here. I'd break the clip off of it. It might be fun to glue ribbon at the back and use this as a wraparound tie with this being on top. That would be fun. Something that you can take off. I don't know that I'd want to leave it sitting on a journal, but because it's, yeah, it's almost 8 inches. You could tighten it up a little bit and take it down to about 6. So it might not be bad on a cover, but I'd have to see. I'd have to play around. But I will show you them as we go along. But yeah, there was 2 of them. This one is a solid piece at the back. Not sure how this works, but oh, that's part of the wing. Okay. So a little bit in rough shape, but still pretty. Once I play around and get them back in shape and spread out a little bit, they'll look nice. I think again, if I paid 25 cents each for them, or 50 cents each, that would really be pushing it. So, you know, 2 for $1 maybe, something like that, because it's not something I would spend a lot of money if I'm not going to use it right away on a journal. So yeah, my guess is that it was a small amount. But if it is something that interests you, as far as boy, that worked out nicely for all this glitter, that you would want to have sort of a tutorial on, then let me know and I will work towards that. Okay, we are moving along here. Now, this is a horribly, not sure what went down here, scarf. But I paid $1.99 for it. And when you open it up, like I said, I cannot imagine, even as a sari, there is just so many things that went wrong here. This very stiff-looking silver trim, which is going to come off. I'd have to see. Oh yeah, it's kind of stitched in between the layers, so I'll have to figure out how to take that off. But I do love these trees on the end of the scarf. Now, it is all down one end, I think. Oh no, it's both ends. Okay, so the scarf, as you can see, there's a lot of it. So each side of the scarf has about a yard of this green with these trees on it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means there's 14 trees on here. That's an instant overlay. All I have to do, or a flip, all I have to do is cut it. And I have these beautiful marks here with the checks to cut it to make a nice little flip on a page, or an overlay on a journal cover, or overlays on pockets. Gorgeous. So there's that. I would have to take all of this silver trim. I don't know when I would use it all, but you know, I might have to just figure out as I go along. Maybe in small doses it would be okay, like something like this on the end of a tag, but there's a lot of it because it covers the entire 4 sides of the scarf. The next section is this coral colored tulle with just a few little sequins on it. Great tool to use as, you know, layering for tags and clusters, that kind of stuff, but it's just going into the scrappy box. And then this brown with the silver, yikes, trim on it, and it's a very crusty, thick trim. I don't know, I may just take it off with my stitch ripper and just roll it up and see what happens. It would be good to, again, use in small doses, and maybe it wouldn't feel so crusty then, or just little bits of enhancement on something else, but there's a lot of it. And that will leave me with this kind of champagne colored tulle where there is the most of the scarf. So yeah, this is the part that came free with the flips that I'm going to repurpose. So this is why I bought the scarf. All that wind, that's why I bought the scarf. Just so you know. But I do use it all up. Eventually it does get used up. I bought this scarf. See, now you can see a little bit more to the end of the pile here. I bought this scarf, and again, this was $1.99, and I really only bought it for the trim. The trim has this kind of machine sewn embroidery with a little bit of shimmer from some clear sequins that are on here. So I will remove this trim completely, and that's what I bought it for. So there's probably about, I would say 3 to 4 yards, because it's one of those really long scarves. The rest of the scarf is a chiffon material, and it has these little cluster embellishments. So these I would probably cut out, and then the rest of this will just get used up as scrappy bits in whatever I'm working on. So it does get used up. I may, considering I have to look at it flat out as well, and I haven't washed any of this stuff yet, but I may consider to leave these little embellishments on here and cut this into strips that would use this as part of the strip. So this could be like long sari strips, like ribbon strips. So that is a possibility as well, but I will have another look at this when I'm going to cut it up. All this goes into the wash, and then it gets cut up and dealt with as much as possible right away. Now these next few pieces, I'm pretty sure they came from Deb, because I did recognize one of them, and I knew that there was no way I bought all these other little pieces in little bits and pieces that were separate from everything else that I've got. So Deb, please let me know if these came from you. I'm pretty sure they did, because I do recognize this sleeve. This is so beautiful. She got a whole jacket made out of this. It has this teal cuff on the end here. But look at this is beadwork. These are beads sewn right into here. And then all of the embroidery, there's a nice little butterfly there, and there's some flowers with beads on them. So this requires a little bit more thought process and how I can best salvage the maximum out of this. So this is all beaded, and there's flowers here, another bead thing. Look at this larger beaded butterfly. This is just the sleeve. She gave one sleeve to me and one to Thelma, and then she kept the rest of the garment. I think you had 2 different colors, didn't you? It was just gorgeous, the whole garment. I'm a little sad that it got cut up. I just want to see on this side. Yeah, there's no other way to salvage this other than to work around the beading, because there's, you know, the beading is done right in the threads as it's put together. So whatever I'm doing, I have to figure out how I can best cut this so that I don't lose the beads, but it is all in one little section. So I could probably cut right around this flower if I wanted, but I want to take some of the embroidery with it. So this is gorgeous. Thank you so much, Deborah. This is Deborah Ibrahim. She has a YouTube channel, and she does Thrifty Canucks as well. Oh my gosh, does she find fabulous stuff. Unbelievable stuff she finds. I love watching her channel. This had to have come from her. I love this material. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a tablecloth or a table runner of some kind, but beautiful colors. I just love the colors. Oh, I can't wait to work with this. This is gorgeous. This will make at least 2 nice journal covers out of here. Oh yeah, at least I'll get that much out of it. 2 covers for sure. And then this one I think came from her. I don't know, is that a scarf? It's some type of it's finished on all sides. Very pretty. Very bohemian, isn't it? Again, probably something I would use with a journal. This would probably be a beautiful lining on the inside of a journal. So I would pick up on a color that's, you know, one of the main colors, like this teal green or the pink, like the fuchsia color on the outside, and then have something like this on the inside for doing the linings or pockets, and maybe a tie. Perfect for that. Another piece of embroidery. Now again, they're like little individual cloths. I've got some like this, but in another color. What would they use these for? Napkins? They're definitely not pillowcases because it's just the one layer, but very pretty, like a placemat of some kind, I guess. Very pretty, isn't it? So this would make a beautiful journal cover as well. Now this one, what's nice about this one, okay, so it's almost 13 inches, so it would be a perfect wraparound cover. And the length, because it's 13 inches, so if you made your cover 9, you could easily fold this up, and there are your pockets. Isn't that gorgeous? So there is your journal cover, just like that. Fold it up, and I would stitch down the sides here. Probably put some type of backing on the back side of this to cover up the stitching. Although the stitching does look beautiful, but I would worry that eventually you would start picking things off of here. So I would line it, but only to this point, and then this would get folded up as 2 pockets to put things into, to tuck into on the side of your journal. But that is instantly ready to go. It's a beautiful weight of fabric, so it would make a beautiful journal cover for sure. So thank you very much, Deborah, for all of these wonderful pieces. I'll tell you, it is so much fun. I miss those girls so much. It's crazy. We have to get together again someday soon. This one here is a bed sheet. I paid $4 for it. Look at the design. Isn't it beautiful? It is that very soft, it's not flannel, but it's a very, like a brushed cotton almost. I could use it as a journal cover if I put some batting underneath it or felt underneath it and put the extra work into, which I do. I do that. There's a lot of it. Let me know, Deb, if you want any of this. But yeah, I could use it as a cover, but I will most likely use this as a liner and then possibly torn into strips for ties. And then some other ephemera and fodder that I would make using this as part of the design. But I just love this pattern, and I thought this is so pretty. So I would definitely put it inside of a journal. Pockets, but that's a lot of journal. That's a lot of journal stuff. So this is going to get distributed into some piles, that's for sure. This next piece is a pillowcase, and the print is large. Okay, there's this is the outside of the pillow. Let me open this up even more. So there's the outside of the pillow on this side. It says Amsterdam. There's New York on here, Zurich, Tokyo. But here's the outside, or the so this is the back side. This is where the pillow goes in. But it's the full thing on the back, and you can see Paris, the Eiffel Tower, writing you can't read, almost like my template. Eh? And then you turn it over, and it is other items, again, in white. So you've got Barcelona, London, Tokyo, Shanghai, Rome, Toronto, New York, London, Tokyo. I just thought it would be very nice to use as journal cover pieces. Again, it's a heavier cotton, but you'd still have to do some layering with it. It's not thick enough for me anyway to use as a cover just like this. So I would probably do the felt underneath and a couple of layers with the cardboard and inside linings and stuff. So it'll get put all together in multiple layers. But I just like the fabric. It just lends itself to add more black and white stuff on it. Excuse me. So that is one that I like. Let's see how we're doing for time. We're getting a little up there. I was with Barb and Thelma at Value Village, and I found this package, and I just said, gotta love that. So this is all pre-cut pieces. Some of them are a little longer. I think this is a long strip. Not enough to make a journal cover, but certainly enough to use some patches of it in a journal cover. These are larger squares that are 5 by 5, and then we go, I think, 4 by 4. Yeah, 4 by 4, and then 3 by 3. So lots of little patchy bits to use. You know, like this would be great on a tag. Stitch half this onto the top half of the tag, and maybe some purple velvet on the bottom, or some teal blue velvet on the bottom. And then the next thing you know, you're adding a couple of little flowers on top and some beads on the bottom and some trim, and you have an instant tag. Well, I'm going to play with these soon. Love that. Not all of it though, so just going to put that aside. And then this one is another placemat of butterflies, kind of plain on the inside, but that would be the inside of my journal. This would make 2 journals, and you've seen me before talk about how to use these. I don't like the color on the edge here, so that will definitely get covered with some type of a trim on it. But if I fold it like this and cut this, I get 2 journal covers out of this, and they are perfect size journal covers. After I cut it, I can take my sewing machine and stitch it closed, and then all of the other sides are finished, so there's no you know, trying to cover up rough edges. It's just the bottom, and I always have things dangling and trims and stuff anyway, so that's an easy fix to cover it up. And then it's very easy to trim with embellishments afterwards, but it's done. That's quick. So yeah, this is something I would like to do, or like to do is with placemats. So keep your eye out for these type of designs. And like I said, when you fold it in half, you get 2 journals right off the hop, just like that. And butterflies. What's wrong with butterflies? Where did those big ones go? Well, they're gone in the pile now. That might be fun to have on top. I never realized that until now. Okay, I gotta find it just to see. I buried them. There's somewhere in the pile here. There we go. Let's just see. Ooh, maybe this isn't so bad after all. I will have to play on this, and I have 2 of them, and I have 2 of these. Now, didn't that just work out nicely, eh? Okay, I might have to see what I can do and see what I can come up with, but I'm kind of liking it. Who knows, right? You just never know. So we will see from there. Jewelry, this was at the fabric sale for sure. It was $2 for the bag. Some of it will not get used, some of it will. Okay, there's a piece of Velcro. Can always use Velcro. Never a reason to not want Velcro. Some blue, these are all plastic beads, but they are individual beads that I can take off of here and harvest for other projects. Love the colors, very, you know, these are boho colors that I use all the time, very jewel tone colors. A tassel attached to something. I don't know what that was for, but I could definitely harvest this piece right here out of there, and then there's some black and silver trim here that I can use for something else. Not sure what the plan was, but this looks like it could be a doorknob hanger or something. Not sure. A big scarf pin, I think, but I like that design. I'd have to probably break this part off. It looks like that might be a magnet. I'm not sure. Have to see. Is that a magnet? Oh yeah, it's a magnet. Why would there be a magnet on something like this? I'll have to think about that. That's a first. Okay, this is just a very plain, not my favorite. Okay, then there is some beaded pieces here. It looks like they are broke off of something. Missing the clasps. Just some plain black beads and some glass globby beads. So harvesting will come from that. Another one of those necklaces. Looks like some of the beads are missing because I see knots tied at either end and not a knot on this side. Okay, I have to be a little more careful. Another necklace here. I got my $2 worth, but you know, it'll be a lot of harvesting. Some brown beads and then some brown beads with gold trim in them. Cute. Could be used for several different things. I'll have to give it more thought, but it might be just harvested stuff. Oh, now that's a chunky heart. That's that's a thrift shop heart. I'm pretty sure of it. That and this, going to the thrift shop, going on another little mini vacay. We've all seen these shell necklaces. You know, unless you're doing something very tribal or earthy, and even then with the white, it's so plain. Not my favorite necklaces. Not my favorite necklaces to take apart, but I don't know. It might just go to the thrift shop. I think this is definitely my money's worth right here. Some things you just gotta let it go. And then this one looks like it's multi-layered. Yeah, oh, okay, it's 2-strand. There it is. Just some plain wooden beads mixed with other plastic and acrylic type beads. And I will look at harvesting this. This could end up being a window dangle, you know, because it's like free beads. So I will put it with these and maybe make some window dangles with those. The heart, not going to happen unless it dangles from something outside, but most likely not going to happen. So that's my beads. So I paid $2 for that batch. I'm just going to move all this over. Then there was this bag of trim for 50 cents at the fabric sale. That was the big sale that we all went to. There was Thelma, Barb, myself, Jen, and Deb. We had a great time. We wore tiaras, sparkly tiaras, and I bought this trim. I don't think anybody took any from me either. I think I showed it to everybody and everybody turned me down. It's only me that wants this stuff. Okay, kind of a yellowy white trim. I have lots of this. This stuff dyes very nicely in any color that you want it to be. You just dream up the color and get the ink or dye together and it's a done deal. So I always pick this stuff up because you can do it in any color. And if you want to learn how to dye fabrics and dye them in small spaces and doing multiple colors and things, visit Caroline's channel. She has a whole series. I think part 4 is up today, or whenever you're watching this. By the time you're watching it, part 4 is up. So you got, you know, grab some snacks and some comfy cushions and maybe some fussy cutting to do, and sit down and binge watch her whole 4 series. It is colorful. It is inspiring. It is candy for your eyes. And very easy techniques on how to dye laces and fabrics and ribbons and trims and stuff. So I could do one, but she's already done it and it's fantastic. And even I was sitting there drooling on my keyboard. Caroline, love that series. Would love to see more. So yeah, that's what I do with this stuff, is I color it in the colors that I want. Same with this GIMP trim. It is a great trim for finishing the edges. This is great. It's a nice width to finish the edges where like on those placemats where you have a thicker, wider edge that you want to cover. This is the perfect item to do that with. Of course, you would want it in the right color, but I do have lots of different colors. And again, this is very easy to dye in a complementary color that you can use for your projects. Kool-Aid dyes, alcohol inks, fabric dye, you know, whatever you've got. Paints, even acrylic paints diluted with water to make kind of you get a very mottled kind of color wash to things, but I use it lots of times, even for dyeing paper. This is lovely trim, and if I'm putting it on the outside of a journal, now this is going to fall off here. If I'm putting this on the outside of a journal, then yeah, I can leave these tassels dangling from the bottom, and it's quite pretty, or even somewhere in the middle of a journal. You know, I don't know if I have one here. I just got this journal book. So even you can have it hanging from the bottom. It looks nice along the bottom. This trim, you can cut smaller pieces and use it kind of as a focal point on a journal. Are you getting all that? Yeah. So you can use it somewhere in the middle. You could even use it from the top. What I like when I use it at the top like this is that I can dangle beads from here. I can dangle without getting beads all over the place here. Let's see if I can pick this one. So I could have some layered beads coming down from the front of my journal. You know, different patterns or different whatever I'm working with. And I would stitch all those onto the cover and, you know, have some kind of, look at that, eh? Some kind of a focal point. And the next thing you know, you've got this beautiful collage of, you know, different embellishments and different textures and things as the cover on your journal. So these are the ways that I like to use this type of trim. If I'm going to use it inside the journal to maybe trim this side, you know, like a little pocket or something, then I would probably take the tassels off because they're lumpy. So if we tuck them underneath and you want to just use that by itself, you can see that it's a very, very pretty trim and will lay nice and flat in your journal. So this is got lots of uses. So keep your eye out for this, and even keep your eye out for pillows that have this as a decoration on the fabric cover, because one, you can use the fabric, and two, you're getting this type of trim pretty much for free, because usually a used pillow and you know and the stuffing, if depending on the stuffing that's inside, you may be able to throw it in your washing machine and wash it and reuse it. So keep your eye out for pillows with fancy trims like this, because that's where you're going to get the most value for your money. And even if the tassels come off, you know, these can be stitched onto another project, or I could repair it, but I've got enough here. I don't need to repair it. So there's quite a bit of pieces. It probably came off of a pillow because I see there's a short piece here and another short piece here. So it probably came off of something as it is. But that's a great way to use these trims. So I got that in the bag. I got this one in the bag in the green. Now this one doesn't have the tassels on it, so that makes it easier to use. It's nice and flat. A little bit of thickness in here. Sorry. I don't know why I always burp when I'm on camera. I have no idea why. Sorry about that. But it's a little bit thicker in the center here, but you could take that out. You probably can take this whole thing apart. You know, if I played around, I probably could just get this as one embellishment, use that part as a trim, and then even use this as a separate trim. I can see it's kind of, there's like a little thread that's holding this inside. Oh yeah, this moves. So I could even take it out completely. And that's the thing, is I'm not afraid to experiment and see how things work. Because this, if I cut it into a smaller piece, yanked out this center heavier piece, I don't know how it will look underneath. Well, let's look. Why not, right? We're right here together. Let's do it. Okay, so I've cut that out, or cut that off at a little thing there, and I'm just going to now pull this, and it comes out pretty easy. Look at that. Ooh, done. So now this is flatter. There are these little It's like a, you know, that invisible thread, although I can see it. It's like a clear thread. I will pull the threads out of there, but this can be now used as a flat piece. And then this piece that I took out, I can either use it as a trim like that, or I can open these up because they do come apart individually. And then they can be used to make a little tassel. So taking the 3 of these, and I just kind of flatten them out. You can iron them flat too. Fold it in half and make a little tie to make the tie at the top, and you've got an instant little tassel. So that is something I could use on the same journal. It's flat enough to use both in, or it could be used as a dangle on the side of a tab. I could probably add a few little beads, although you'd need a pretty wide opening. And these will unravel. I'm not going to cut it right now or pull on it because it will go and the whole thing will unravel. But if you cut them and you are quick and you use your heat gun, you can melt the end and they won't unravel anymore. So I won't do that right now. I'll just leave them together with this piece to further finish up working with this. Now another thing too, and I'm pretty sure I can do that with this. Yes. When you cut these things, if you start to pull, this will unravel. Okay, since we're doing, we might as well play the whole 9 yards here, right? So you can take this edging off of here and you've got these beautiful threads. And sometimes, you know, when I'm working on a journal and I'm using this stuff in the journal and you want to have stuff that's complementary to your trim that you've just added, this is extra mileage that you can get out of some of these trims, because if I take them and dampen them or take them over to my iron and iron them, I can iron them flat. You can see I've taken this. And then this can also be a fancy tassel to use on my I mean, you can't really see it, but you get the idea. I mean, right now it just looks like a thread mess. But you can use this to make a nice tassel. You just have to iron it flat first. Got to get out that iron. But that is how, you know, I take the chance, I experiment and see what happens when you pull this thread, what happens when you do this. So I'm doing it for you to show you what you can do, but this can now be used as tassels, or you can use it as thread that you stitch onto maybe a tag or something that you want to use the same colors to complement your trim on your piece. Now the plastic thread is coming off here too, so that I can dispose of. If you have small animals in your house, make sure you dispose of this in a right way, and I usually like to put it next to something, like this is going in the recycling. I usually like to put it onto something, and I'm just going to glue it down to there, or I wrap it in a piece of paper or something, because if your pet is playing with this and the next thing you know it gets in their mouth, you know what can happen. Thousands of dollars to get that out of their intestines. So I always try to put it onto something, or I wrap it in paper and before I throw it out. Just something I've done for years and years. We had a friend whose cat ate a piece of tinsel and it wrapped around in their intestines. They were able to get the cat to the vet, but it ended up costing them $2,000 to have an operation to remove that one long piece of tinsel. Needless to say, we don't have tinsel on our tree ever. We never really did. So it's just something, you know, I'm always aware of and conscious of when I'm doing stuff like this, that, you know, my cats come down here, they meander through here and they play with, you know, whatever's on the floor. So I'm always extra careful to make sure I don't have plastic pieces. So this trim is just like this. I can use this to further enhance something else. There is a plastic thread in here that I will have to get to the bottom of and remove and treat the same way as I did the other one. But I'm just showing you how you can take these apart and repurpose the materials in other ways to further enhance your journal making. So that's that trim in the baggie. And then there was a little piece like this. That'll just go into my scrappy laces that hang. And same with this green piece, although it's very, very pretty lace. That's all I got was this one little piece. But it is complementary also to this stuff here, so could possibly see using it all together. So I will put these little pieces and this little tassel together, and who knows, maybe this will end up being a couple of tags just using that stuff. So that was my $2 purchase, which I thought was rather good. And why the other ladies didn't take anything from it, I don't know. And my piece that I saved for the end, to you it's probably not a big deal, but I love it for two reasons. One, I love the fabric and the deal that I got with it. That's kind of two things already. And the other thing is, I've had this fabric before. I just finished using the last little piece of it. Honest to goodness, I cannot believe this. And when I finally used it all, I said, okay, well, we'll never find that fabric again. And, you know, you put these words out of your mouth, and then you put it out to the universe. And sure enough, I found it again. It is lovely fabric. I love using this stuff. I paid $1 for 1 1/4 yards, 54 inches wide. I cannot believe it. I don't think I'll run out of this now, ever. I'll see. Yeah, $1. So I'll just see how easy it is to undo this. Not too bad. Should have done it ahead of time, but I wanted you to see the $1 price on it. It's even here on the sticker. I cannot believe that I found the same fabric again for $1. And I think I paid a lot more the first time I bought it. So this is the fabric. It is just beautiful. It is a fuchsia pink. So it is an intense pink with lots of pink swirls here. But what I like is you can cut this into pieces however you want to use it. You can cut it as a trim to use on the edge of something, on the edge of pockets, on the edge of your journal cover, on the edge of a page. You can use it as spot elements in smaller little doses. I'm not going to cut it because I'm kind of hoarding it. I like this part. But when you go to cut it, I have even slow stitch beads and crystals on the inside of this. It's like a little shell pattern. And when you do that, it just makes this fabric so rich looking. So when I'm working with this, I will bring you along for a play on that because, you know, it's something that's different. You can keep your eye out for it. This would not be really hard to replicate, but I've kind of forgotten about it. It is something that could be done. I'll play around because I know how they've done this, and so I will play around, and if I can come up with an easy method to do this, to show you how to do this, we will do it on a video. But it isn't hard to replicate this type of style. It's really just a flat piece of lace and how they loosely gathered it. I mean, it's machine done, but it is stitched onto this other fabric. But I just loved this print or this design and love using it. And I cannot believe that I said, well, that's it for that fabric. We won't see this again ever. And then, yeah, that's what happens when you put things out to the universe. It always comes back to you one way or another. And I always tell you that the universe will give you what you need, not necessarily what you want, but it always gives you what you need. Obviously, I need this. That's it for my video for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I wish you all a very creative day and a creative week, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye for now.